Okay, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Chicano Hollywood. That's right, we're here, and we're excited. We had 2 episodes in already, Johnny.
2, bro.
Good ones. Big ones.
I think we are the Joe Rogans of Chicano podcast.
Okay, Johnny, you got to speak in the mic, Johnny.
I am. All right.
Okay, pull the mic.
Speaking in the mic right now.
Yes, thank you, Johnny. I'm going to have to correct you during the show.
You know what? You're not going to be hard on him with me here, okay?
Oh, shoot.
Tell him.
I got you.
No, we got to introduce you because you're already in this show. We got Khoolaid. We got Khoolaid in the studio. We love you, man. It's amazing.
It's going to be a very fun episode.
Yes.
I'm a little scared, a little nervous. But
you
why?
should be, because I have so many questions for you since you're my newly discovered friend and you're on my Chicano Hollywood show.
Yeah, Johnny, and that's the truth. You really are scared because she's like, well, when I go you guys interview me, I want to flip it. I'm like, flip it? I don't care.
Right? Yeah.
You know, because she's used to interviewing a lot of people as well.
Yeah.
That's
you know,
right. That's right.
She's been.
Well, I can't help it because there's people. Well, and when I found out you were going to be here, you're one of those people that I'm interested about. Anybody who's seen me on a podcast knows that I talk about, that old Tony Robbins theory of finding what you identify with, who you think is doing well or who you like what they're doing, and dissect it and take little pieces and make a better you.
Yeah.
Well, you're one of those people that I've watched since Marty introduced me to you, and Concrete introduced me to you at Chicano
we met
Hollywood.
At Elevate, and I remember them telling me about you, and then I saw you. I'm like, oh, this lady's cool. I said, yeah, I love it. Yeah. So I need to get you involved in the next Elevate that's coming up.
Well, and everybody was like, Johnny, you got to meet. Everybody was pulling me left to right, telling me I had to meet you, and so it was crazy because I asked you the question of like, with everything you're doing for the culture, I love it, respect it, appreciate it, and everything you're bringing. I mean, multiple layers of it. I'm like, how did I not meet you before? And then it made sense to me because you said you came in the game about 17 years. So right when I went on my little hiatus, and then now I found you.
And Johnny dropped in.
Before we even go anywhere, I have to talk about the horchata with milk because I didn't realize
horchata with oat milk.
With oat milk, thank you. I screwed that one up really good.
A lot of people did that day. They were like,
I did it that day. With oat milk.
Horchata with milk is the ungentrified.
Okay, yes. Yes, that's the ungentrified version. But I mean, the name, by the way,
that's John Doe. We had another name for it, and that project particularly is probably the best example of creative collaboration. So yes, I'm the writer. I'll tell you the story. Jeff Reyes, Echoes World, sent me a one page.
Who Jeff Reyes is one of my other people that I geek out. That's my team. That's my partner. That's who in the future, once everything's established, will be handling all of my content.
Nice.
No,
he's good.
So Jeff sends me a one pager, and it was LV and John Doe. They both had COVID, so they're both in bed, right? And they're getting creative on the phone, they had this idea. They took it to Jeff's, and can you have a screenwriter come? He sent it to me. I kind of fleshed it out, gave it some meat and bones, and when I gave it back to them, it's them that I gave them a piece of raw meat. John Doe's creativity, he came up with the name, and him and LB, I think they're at a restaurant or something, or maybe they're a truck or something, and the LB's direction, amazing. And then you had all the talent. Concrete, you had Jerry.
And you had a young Concrete and a young Jerry. So that's what I was going to tell you is that when I went to the screening, I was thinking I was just going to support friends and thinking, okay, I'm going to see something. And I've said this, too, on other podcasts now, the last couple I've done. And I couldn't have been more proud of you guys and the piece of work you guys created and put out into the world. I mean, I truly enjoyed, at first in my head, I was going to sneak out of the film.
So show up, do the red carpet like everyone does.
Support all the homies, and then sneak out. Yeah, I'm a single mom. I was gonna bounce out and go back home to the kids, make sure everybody's homework was done. I couldn't leave.
Oh wow!
It was brilliant, and it was a piece that we can all be so proud of. So you basically, what I love is what you're saying is that you brought in the story, and then they kind of brought in the authenticity of their experience.
Yeah, they brought in all their experience. They brought in their comedy. They brought in the time, all that stuff. The story was John's, I believe, and so they kind of gave me the notes, and I just kind of fleshed it out. I formatted for them. I gave them structure and all that kind of stuff. Gave them a script back, but they brought the magic. Even I'm curious how much of what was on the screen on the original script, but they took it and they just blew it up to what it is.
That's synergy, as Demiza would say. That's
totally.
synergy at its finest.
And I love the example because that's how collaboration should work, and
team, like you work. Yeah, that's how beautiful stuff comes out. Okay, and see, because this is my interview.
What's up, guys? I'm Betania, and for this week's Chicano Spotlight, we got to check out USC and be a part of a panel that was hosted by Brave Makers. Now, if you haven't heard of Brave Makers, they're a really great resource for creators and filmmakers. So we got to share a bit about our story and what we do and just connect with other creators. So check it out.
So we pulled up to the beautiful USC campus and got to be a part of Brave Makers' latest live event. Now, when I tell you that the advice that was shared on this panel was next level. Now, these were all experts in their own right, and they talked about their journey as entrepreneurs in this entertainment industry. And this event was free. There are so many great resources for creatives out there. You just got to put in the work and show up. So thank you, Brave Makers.
Yeah. I didn't know that you were a pastor.
Yeah.
So like that, you're telling me that right now, and I'm like, shh, we have to talk about this. So like, and the congregations you would lead, they didn't. There wasn't necessarily mainstream.
No. I was with the Assemblies of God. So I'll give you a quick background. Raised in the barrio in San Jose, right? Raised with all the barrio stuff, right? I always tell people, older brother was a good cholo, younger brother was a great cholo. I was in between. I sucked at it. It wasn't my thing, right? I was a lowrider, though. That was, I had a 53 Chevy. So we had that life. Real dad was a wino on the streets. Didn't know him that well. Stepdad was caught up, in the upper levels of northern politics, if you know what that means, right? Up in the upper levels of that. So we had drive-bys at the house before drive-bys were popular. We had all that stuff, all kinds of that junk. So that was my upbringing. He was killed in 76, and then it was my mom and 5 kids, single mom. She was a chingona. She raised us in the barrio still. So we got caught up still. My older brother and myself, we started going to church. We were caught up. We started going to church, and we got into the ministry. My younger brother stayed in it. He went to, he was a lifer, did 23 years. He's out now doing amazing now. So that was the background. So, my grandfather was a
So you
worker.
Did have exposure then early on
that was
to...
my life. Yeah, that was my life. My grandfather was a farm worker. He's the one that taught me Chicano power. So Chicano has always been a affirming thing to me.
Because that was my question is how did you, go from... not watching the content of the 90s.
Of the 90s, that was out. So then I become a pastor, but we were part of the Assemblies of God, which the Spanish Assemblies of God, at that time period especially, were very strict. So no music.
Worldly music.
No worldly, secular music.
Yeah,
right?
secular music.
Victor Outreach, so the same way. No secular music, no movies, no TV. I threw out my TV probably like 3 times, right? I mean, it was just over and over. You start backsliding, you start watching again, So it was a very, very strict. I preached it. I preached against, and I used to do big rallies. I've been all over the world. I can go, in the 90s, I go to countries and we fill up stadiums and we do big outreaches and all that. Inner city here in the U.S., we would do a lot of inner city work. My heart has always been for raza, for the black community, those in the urban areas, those in the hood. So I've always done major outreach. The last church I pastored was in Sacramento, 300 people from the hood. I had pimps, prostitutes. I loved them to death, but then we had to close it. The economy crashed. They were tithing food stamps, so we couldn't take the EBT card, so we had to close it down. Right? It was terrible, but it was right there that the Lord transitioned me to say. He started telling me, "I'm sending you to Hollywood." And I'm like, man, I preach against Hollywood. And he goes, I'm sending you to Hollywood. And
the one thing he preached against, he's in now.
I'm in now, yeah. And I don't even do Christian stuff, Yeah. I should, yeah.
Well, there is a booming market, which I love to see. I love to see everybody have their voice now. Right now, the Christian market.
Very
and the
strong,
way,
yeah.
Well, they don't really call it Christian market. They call it the inspirational faith-based market.
Yeah.
Because I did an inspirational faith-based film, too. It's on Amazon Prime right now.
Pastor too.
I was becoming a pastor too.
Just ashamed of it.
We all come from them. This is our pulpit. This is what we say. This is our pulpit now.
How did I not know this?
That's why people.
See, and you thought that I was always looking at you judging, and I didn't know this, JR.
Come on, she knows.
Okay, so can we talk about JR, aka Junior? Can we talk about the name? Because all my OG friends that are like juniors, what do you prefer, JR, Junior? What do you prefer from your friends?
Okay,
help me with this question.
I say JR. Family members call me Junior because I am a junior.
Yeah.
But I say JR because there was a point where I was booking a Christian artist, Mary, and
wow.
Mary.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I did Christian concerts, so I was booking.
Didn't know that.
Yeah,
New info.
Mary, and I seen them on TBN, and I was like, you know what, I want them. So I called, who they were with, Capitol Records. So I called Capitol Records. The guy didn't answer. I said, hey, this is Junior. Give me a call. Love to talk to you about Mary. Boom. I missed his call, but his voice message said, "Hi, I'm leaving a message for Junior. I don't know if you're a kid, but give me a call back."
Oh, wow.
So I changed it to JR ever since that day.
Interesting.
And I said I grew up. JR.
Yeah, because JR of True Hustle, I'm like, Junior JR. So I was just calling my brother.
JR.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's good.
Because he said, I'm dealing with a kid, a child, and I was like, okay, JR.
How long ago? Was your voice not changed yet or something? Or?
Still like really young. Hi.
Pre-puberty phone call?
Yeah, actually, I think I was around like 18, 18 years old.
Okay, since you guys are men of God still, like, because once you're a man of God, you're,
we have our,
everybody has their days.
Days, yes.
I understand, but I with the person you are and the person you are, I know that you guys walk with God.
This is a call. Yeah, everything I do right now, everything with Chicano is calling to me. So to me, as far as I'm concerned, I'm still in the ministry, but just not in ministry.
And myself too. This is my ministry. Like, this is considered now the pulpit for me. Every time we get an opportunity to talk about God or something, we won't drive it down, but we let people know that our faith is.
Okay, so here's my question. Then you guys are perfect people for me to have this conversation with, because I go through this a lot. I wonder, because of the content sometimes that we know that I promote or that I'm interested in or that I'm into creating versus who I am as a human. It's like I'm about love. I'm about caring. I'm about seeing your bright side, but the gangster music is my soul music. Those are my soul stories. For whatever reason, that's the stories that call me.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do I separate the two? Like, how do you, like, sometimes I feel like, is it right that some of the stuff I'm, as a mother, some of the stuff I promote or some of the stuff I do, sometimes I question the direction. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
The thing about
I have my answer. Go ahead.
You're right. My answer is because I'm involved in the same thing, right? Whether it be movies or music, whatever it might be. I'm very much about the person. So if I have a filmmaker come up to me, and let's say they made a horror, like some kind of The Exorcist 3 or something, I'd be like, I don't like those. But I am more concerned to work and befriend and build a relationship with that filmmaker. So I'll be with them. I'll support them. I'll show it. I'll do it because I want them to know that I'm cheering for them. That way, in that relationship, I can actually be a influence to them. I can do anything to help them get closer to God, even if it's just by hanging out with them. That, to me, is mission accomplished. So in you participating in making music artists successful, that's a good thing. That's what God wants us to do. He wants us to help people. Now, I have, like, with our streaming app, we have our own Chicano Netflix, right? I have a rule, like, just very minimal or no nalgas and no nipples, right? Because I want kids to be able to watch it, I mean,
She zips up her jacket. Conviction just settled in right now.
No, it's because I want kids to be able to watch it, and I want parents to be able to watch it. So that's our streaming app, right?
Here. There.
Right there.
You guys will tell me when I'm crossing the line.
No. But and it's so you have your inner values that are going to come out. So you have your family values.
Yes.
You as a single mom, as a mom over children that are young. So your values. Once they start going against those values, you're going to feel it inside.
Yeah.
That's when you say, okay, I don't think, but when you feel that inside, that's really God saying, hey, it's not, that's something that we don't want to get into.
Well, and no matter who your God is or who your higher power is to do well in the universe, whatever that is, I know that sometimes then you can see this quality in people. It's like you can see through and you see the good qualities. And I tend to see, I was talking to somebody about this yesterday, and I tend to see, actually my boy Paul from Hitmaker, they're really cool. He runs Aftermath Studio for Dre, and he's amazing soul. But you can see, when I see people's good qualities, I just try and highlight those for them so they realize them. Because like when you're talking about somebody, like prime example of that, I love creating with Conejo. That is one story. I'm putting it out there. Like whoever, if you really want to do something successful, anybody, put your money on Conejo's story. And Conejo, you better involve me in that, because that's one of my bucket lists. That's one of my bucket list things. I think he has one of the most beautiful stories, and it's so funny because when he's like, "Oh yeah, got to make sure it's sinister," and I watch his stuff sometimes, and I even get uncomfortable when I'm watching his stuff. I'm like, "Whoa, should I be watching this? This is great." Crazy. But then he is the most light of a human.
Guy. I love that guy. Yeah.
He has
very
so
humble,
much to offer the world.
And
his story and what he's been through. Like his
Yeah,
testimony.
crazy.
Like,
his testimony was crazy. And then he's
I don't
in that
think
new
one
movie
tops
with
that.
Jason Statham right now.
Yeah.
He's in that new
the
movie.
number
with
one
Jason
movie in the
Statham.
country.
That,
Yes, right
number
now.
one, he's
Yeah.
in it.
Yes.
So if anyone is on that trajectory, become a Chicano A-lister, Conejo.
Conejo.
Yeah.
He's a great example because I love that guy. The times we've been together, he's the sweetest guy, and I want to see him successful.
Who else? What other young Chicano? Well, I'm semi-young. I like, who else? What other young Chicanos like Conejo in my age? Do you want to say?
I know, yeah, I'm there too. They're all younger than me. They're all,
Yeah.
We have a lot, and what I'm always afraid of is like if I start popping names.
No.
You didn't mention me.
I will stand on. I want you to choose 5 right now. I will stand. No, you're gonna choose 5, and everybody.
5
This is
that I'm
not.
watching.
This is not his only one. So don't get your feelings all hurt. Don't cry. But what 5 would you put your life on?
When it comes to filmmaking talent,
All of it, just period. When it comes to giving entertainment to the culture.
Oh yeah.
wow.
Obviously, Jeff Reyes, Jekyll's World.
Yes.
He is on the trajectory to become a Spielberg on the production level, direct level. He wants a DP, but that's sucker. No matter what he's DPing, he needs to be in charge. Or else.
Yeah.
I've taken him with me to. We spent 3 months in the freaking desert of New Mexico, so. He is my go-to for me when I'm doing bigger projects.
I love that.
Right? So Jeff, obviously that whole group, they're called
I agree.
Hell Unit, right? LV, all those guys. So all those guys.
I just met LV for the first time, so I haven't got to
If we talk
connect
about
with
LV
yet.
when it comes to being a director, Shot I think was his first feature.
And he's a beautiful spirit. That was the first time I had
Amazing
met
guy.
him.
He again, he needs to. I think he's directed some music videos recently, some other stuff, but he needs another feature right away because he's another one that is on this trajectory to becoming a very, very well-known, higher level, studio level director. So there's them on the DP side. On the there's also, on the Chicana side, there's Kaden Phoenix. She right now is leading hard into the animation Latina story. She's a comic book and a creator and producer.
That's nice.
So,
I don't know who she is.
I don't know either, but that's pretty cool.
Chicana
Send that to me
Directors
later.
Initiative, yeah. So Kaden, she again she's getting in that level now. Her studios are coming after her to start talking about her content and so on.
Awesome.
So Kaden's another one.
Go, girl.
That if you're gonna put money down, I'm putting money on Jeff LB, on Kaden, and there's gonna be Sylvia Ray. We just shot a pilot in December, and she's freaking amazing. From a producer standpoint, she's so meticulous and so committed to excellence. It was nerve-wracking for me. But Sylvia Ray, she's half Chicana, half Korean.
Oh, I love that.
But
Well,
she was raised in Barstow, so she's more Chicana, right? She's more Chicana,
definitely
right?
in Barstow.
And so she's so resilient. She lost her house in the fires, and we were in the middle of editing the pilot that we shot in December. So I told everybody, "Hey, pause." She just lost her house, so we just kind of paused. I think it was like 2 weeks later. Hey guys, I'm ready to get back to it. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Are you good? Are you sure?" No, I got it. I'm gonna get back into it. She went to Sundance. She's very resilient, committed to excellence. So when you're hearing about, and I hate to say it gender wise, but gender wise, when you hear about female directors, because
I love how you're rolling through for the ladies because you have two. You got two. You got two ladies on your list.
Kaden and Sylvia Ray.
Okay, so who's number 5?
Number 5.
Let's pull talent. Let's pull either an actor.
Okay,
or
obviously it's going to be hard on number 5 because we got all of the guys that we just worked with on.
No, you're not allowed to say all of them. You can't say Concrete Tuno.
I'll put them all together as one, number 5.
Valentino as one, number 5.
All those dudes. Now
the whole crew, the Get Fresh crew.
All of them. They're all amazing. If I was gonna I put money on all you homies, but I have to choose one, and y'all gonna get pissed at me. I've always said we did a pilot a couple years ago, and I remember telling the director, I said, Concrete's going to do this role. He's going to show up. He's not going to be prepared. So you need to be prepared because I guarantee you he's going to come late and he's not going to have his script ready. And he did. He came late and he didn't. I know he didn't have a script ready. He probably looked at it. But there we had to feed him the lines. But his comedic genius was amazing. This was a pilot we did called The King of Downey. And it was amazing. And
He's so natural.
This guy is the Chicano Bill Murray.
Yeah.
And you always hear about Bill Murray's going to come late.
Yeah.
But he's going to show up and he's going to bring it.
He's going to deliver it. Yeah.
You don't write for talent like that, they have to tell you how this is going to come out. And that's how, so like on that script I wrote, right? And I'm like, dude, I don't care about the lines. I care about what this guy's going to bring. So he is going to be, or he is already.
I was going to say you're like he's a superstar, which I love to watch.
No,
you know how much Concrete and Nikki mean
right here,
to me.
right on the cusp of becoming more general audience. Right now,
and I love what they do, and I say this every time, and I will continue to say this every time. Yes, he's a great actor. Yes, he's a great comedian. Yes, he's a great shooter. But most of all, I love the way him and Nikki support their family and support the base of mom being at home, especially with mom being as creative as Nikki is. Because Nikki was the backbone to a lot of both of them in the beginning. And the fact that she's put that to be mom first, and that he helps support that and still makes her feel so loved and highlighted.
At the premiere for Chata, he was filming with Mario Lopez in New York, but she came.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she had the family with her, but she was there.
And I enjoyed seeing her more than Concrete.
So there when you're talking about power couples, you got Emilio and Yuri, and you have
are you kidding?
Concrete
Emilio and Yuri, that's family right there.
Yeah.
And then the whole Vargas bunch, the way they're coming in and killing it. We're about to really do some crazy stuff, you guys.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you can have your show back.
I'm sorry.
No, that's not my show.
I just had to I had so many questions for you, guys.
No, I'm interested.
I was it's your fault, because I told you when you told me that Johnny was coming. We've never never sat down. I've never sat down with him. And
I love the fact that a lot of people don't know. Yeah, we're having a conversation. This was all about. Yeah, I'm good.
I love it. Okay, you can have your show back.
We'll be right back. No, from our sponsor.
But what we want to know is what you're doing now. You've been on a lot of other podcasts. People, they've heard your story, where you've come from, where you've been. Came out of the shadows.
Yeah.
Concrete, pulled you out and stuff. But you are a very busy woman now, very busy. I mean, you talked about it a little bit right now off camera about how busy and you're being pulled here and there. But I love the fact that your energy is so amazing when it comes to the Hispanic Chicano community.
I just can't help it. It's just beyond my passion. I forgot how much it was my passion. Lifing and having to deal with you know what it is, and then you come back out and the culture again is in your and then for it to be in my face like it is now, and then for it to be as diverse as it is now, because that was a big thing to me too. It was like you said, it was really started out at a young age, urban community, a passion for urban communities and voices and the different stories and what was going on. And then it, rolled into my passion for the Chicano culture, for all the other cultures, all my Boricuas, all my, I'll go on for days, it's so diverse, everything. I just love culture.
No, but everyone can see it, because when she walks into a room, she shows. Oh my God! I mean, your whole persona, your vibe. I mean, everything is you're really embracing the people. But I love the fact that that you have this new podcast. But I heard something, because you're in the industry, but you've gotten more into the music. You're in the music side.
The music called me back for a minute. But that's what I want to do my content through. So my content that I think I'm having, it's like the whole podcast world was so, cliche at first. It's like Concrete's do a podcast, and I'm okay, how many podcasts, like everybody else, how do you build your audience? We talked about this the last time. I was used to having over 2 million people every time I popped the mic. I started my YouTube page last week, and it's you start from one, and it's the feeling, learning that feeling and being humbled. And learning that feeling
Starting all over.
It's okay,
it's
but
a whole different world now.
Yes, and then each platform is so different. So
you have to
in the
cater
discovery of all the different platforms. But going back to the music, I'm one of my callings is definitely the Footloose, my film that I did, the first film, Philly Brown. I knew right when I did.
Yeah, she did Philly Brown. Yeah, that's right.
Wait,
He's wait,
you did not do? I haven't seen that.
What did I do?
Philly Brown? That's old school. That's old school.
Well, basically, your boy, I took the script.
It's on my list now.
I took the script and went over it and made it authentic to our culture. Really? I learned what Hollywood was there, because I didn't realize that you guys put your wish lists together, and when you pitch your movies, you pitch them with people who aren't involved yet. I never knew this, what you guys do in pitch decks. So when I got it, I was like, oh, wow.
Oh, they're in it. They're attached to it
but
already.
nobody was yet.
No.
So,
I just sent one of those out.
But,
wish list.
But it was really dope because we did have a couple cool coins. We had a cool, talented filmmaker, writer, in the Delara family. And then they brought in the Almoses. They brought in Michael Almos. And originally Edward James was kind of just in the back cut. He was there, and when we got it and we flipped it up, I called all the homies, including my friend Jenny Rivera.
Cool.
And brought those elements
a good film.
to it.
It's a very good film. It's an old school good film.
That was Gina Rodriguez's
It was
breakout, right?
Gina Rodriguez's breakout. I was so absolutely proud of her and what she did. And, I'll keep it real. I had certain feelings at first with the fact that, this was the voice of like the Mexican rap community, and we had a Puerto Rican girl playing. Like at first I had certain things. Now I'm like so happy to see that what she did for the culture and what she's done just for people in general.
I mean, there's a point. I totally understand when, I'm a big bit on the artist side of acting. I'm like, okay, give us a shot. But if none of us qualify, then bring in whoever else. Like, what's his name? When they did the whole Fidel Castro thing, it was 2 Latino filmmakers that was doing a movie about Fidel Castro. They got James Franco to play Fidel Castro. Big old uproar came, like, he's not even Latino, he's not Cuban, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, but these are 2 filmmakers that got James Franco to do a good movie. I said, you know what? Let's support them. And as long as they gave other people a shot,
right? And
if they couldn't cut it,
well, and if somebody cuts through, more power to them. I absolutely. I mean,
that happened with Selena and other movies,
right?
Too.
A lot of movies, and especially then, there was not really very many Mexican voices, and to me, that was always what was important, was creating Mexican superstars.
And that's the problem we do have today in our industry, is that when it comes to movies, is that they want the authenticity of if they're playing a certain role, it has to come from that. Like if they're Mexican or Guatemalan, they want them to be that. But it's like no, it's okay.
But
it's
now
acting.
everybody's so mixed up too. Like now everybody's so mixed up with this, a little bit of that.
We are.
It's beautiful. And
do a DNA test. I'm 10% Chicano. All right, I'm down.
Right. Do you know how many friends I've had that come up to me and say, "I'm Jewish"? Look.
No, and that's why I'm like, I'm still down to let the artists be the artists, let the producers be the producers, but give us a shot. If we don't qualify, we don't qualify. But
well, you know who that part was originally written for by Youssef was Snow the Product.
Oh.
And she had just had the baby.
Wow.
She had just had her baby and just didn't feel ready.
Too.
She would have murdered it too. But Gina came in and she's
good.
She's
fire.
Who's gonna bring her in?
She's fire. She's fire.
Yeah. No,
she definitely has a voice and stuck to her beliefs, and I always respect those.
So, but I did see a clip of your podcast. You're interviewing a gentleman, a rapper, but you guys were talking about how everything is put into a genre. And he says, I'm not a Chicano rapper.
He didn't say I'm not a Chicano rapper. And that's the funny thing is that people, I was watching everybody's comments and you watch everybody and it's like, people don't like our attention now. We don't listen to things. It's like, no, go listen to what we talk about.
You didn't listen.
How we talk about it. Did you watch the whole thing?
Not the whole thing. I watched the clip.
You have to watch, exactly.
Okay.
So, and that's, okay, we're going to go back to that because that's part of new content creation and what I feel like a little drawn toward, because the podcasting, it's like I don't feel like people really go back and listen to the full form. So like, how do we get some of these more relevant messages across in short form, because that's all that we're all eating. So to make better people and better mind frames for ourselves, how do we deliver that? Because people aren't going to go back and necessarily watch the
whole thing.
Right. And so then it's like he said he's not Chicano. No, he did not say that.
No, he didn't say he's not Chicano, but
he doesn't identify as No, he had said that he just doesn't understand why it was that they're even called like this is Chicano rap because it's like he was saying that
Kinda
House of
segregating
Pain
to
is
a
not
genre,
Irish
yeah.
rap
Yeah.
or Eminem is not white rap. People don't feel like
It's
they
just
can say that.
rap music and this,
Right.
but and that's what I wanted to talk to you about because when I saw that clip, because that's what they do in the music industry is the same thing they do in the movie industry. You know, they don't call that a black film or a white film, but for some reason they always say, "Oh, that's a Mexican film," or "That's a Chicano rapper," "That's a gangster Chicano rapper," and they automatically want to like categorize our stuff
Right.
to where it's like saying, "Yeah, but that's that."
Yeah.
Instead of just saying it's a movie, he's just a rapper.
Or a rapper, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about that
Yeah.
where he was saying that. Like, why do
Yeah.
they always got to put that? Because
Well, but then here's the thing, though. There's so many different subgenres, period, in music, and
And
even if you
movies.
take
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
even
yeah,
if you
it's
take
just
culture out of it, like how many different versions of EDM are there? Like there's so many different subcultures of it all, and at the time. I happen to be a fan of that music and that movement that was, and sometimes I will take criticism. Like you can look at the comments and you can see like, well, you put us in that box or you.
Oh, really?
Wow.
And it's
I didn't know it was kind of like that. I didn't read the comments.
It does. Yeah, it
man,
does.
all the fans are coming out now.
It gets
Yeah.
like that sometimes with certain people or certain artists, or it does.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that was around well before me. I was a fan of it who happened to know that I would go into the radio station and say, hey, we should be playing this Spanish Fly record, or we should be playing this Little Rob record, or we should be playing this Mr. Shadow record.
Wow, yeah,
no,
yeah.
people aren't listening to that. It was its own genre, and it's a very interesting story of how it was created, and I hope to be able to be a part of one day telling it.
No, we need to
I
tell
like
that
it.
story
Yeah.
because a lot of rappers now, and then I get it. There's niches where Chicano is a niche still. We're gravitating towards to be more general audience, and that's
Yeah.
Right
Yes.
now, it's bumping off pop culture.
Big
Like
time.
right now,
Yeah,
it's
it's
crazy,
heavy.
and I'm tripping
That's
off
why.
of it.
That's why
I'm
I'm like,
like,
now's our time. Now
Yes.
the future's brown. The future's Chicano.
Yes.
Now's our time. We could miss it though if we stay niche and we don't. You don't evolve into kind of tapping into all the general audience. Now you don't have to because the general audience is also more accepting of the
well, the
Chicano
general
culture.
audience they want to be a part of the culture. They're loving the culture right
yes.
now.
I
They're
get that, like,
embracing the culture.
here-
so the
here-
more authentic you are, the better it's going
Exactly.
to be.
And
So
here in LA, right? If we have an event.
I wouldn't have wanted a watered down version of DJ Quick when I was young,
no,
and
no,
that's
no,
all
yeah.
that was popping. I wouldn't have wanted a watered down version of what NWA felt like they needed to be for the Jewish girl being raised in the Valley.
Yeah.
I wanted what they were. I wanted the authenticity of the story that I didn't necessarily understand, but I wanted told to me. And right now, everybody is so open to.
Yeah, they're
and I know I
open to
say
it.
our stories, and it's like, but this is my.
Yeah, no, and
These
I
are my
think
people.
Here
Period.
in LA, when we have events like 99% Chicano, right, and then everybody else is mixed. Chicano voice, right? I'm with Chicano voice.
Oh, yeah,
which could be
definitely.
all of us, Latino, Guatemalan, Salvi, everybody's Chicano
Yeah.
voice. But when I go outside, our bases in Houston, Chicago, different places, they're mixed. We're
Yeah.
gonna have an event in New York. It's gonna be mixed, and it's the black community. They like in Houston, they say, "Hey, we want to be a part of this."
They
Asian
hardcore
community,
embrace.
they
Oh,
wanna be
especially
part
New
of it.
York,
Yeah.
Puerto Rico. That was one of the big things that I discovered when I was doing the whole reggaeton thing and the merging and bringing everybody off the island. That was like probably one of the funnest things I got to be part of. But just to see how much like Voltio and how much Zion and Lennox and everybody loved the Chicano culture. Like we're obsessed with the Chicano culture
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
off the
And
island.
it's hot right now.
Yeah.
Oh, they were
Japan,
very-
Vietnam,
Yeah.
Brazil.
Oh.
We have followers. When I look at our
Yeah.
demographics in the back end, we have followers all over the world. Dubai and
Demiza
Germany.
was telling me, and I didn't even know this, why the culture of Chicano rap and West Coast music was so big in Japan. And I didn't even know that when they weren't able to get any feeds, Power 106 had a cable feed. And all the kids would listen to it. And, you're talking like 30 years, 25.
Wow.
Yeah.
They did?
There was a feed, and I didn't even know. I was clowning him. I said, I never got paid for that. And he's like, why do you think the Chicano movement is so big?
Oh,
there?
they have lowriders.
Right.
They're like gangsters.
And then
They-
also the West Coast. It's not just the Chicano movement. It's also the West Coast
West
gangster
Coast.
street movement.
Yeah.
And that was because they were so influenced by those early Power 106
the women
days.
in Japan dress way better than our women here
Yeah.
as gangsters.
Yeah.
They look
Gangsters,
better.
I know.
The way they look, they put it
fashion
together. It's
thing,
like,
yeah.
it's a fashion look.
I
Like,
can't-
damn,
They're
you
probably
look
all lawyers
Yeah.
and tech and all that stuff.
I can't tell you how many times, like Big was able to, he would call from Japan and be like, cool. And I've never even got to go out there. And he's like, cool, you need to go. You need to bring me to Japan.
Yeah, September, I'm talking to the homies from Chicano magazine. They're going to go out there, so we're going to probably join them. A couple others are going to join. Just go do a little Japanese invasion. They have an event in Japan, September 15th, that we're going to go check it out. So there is.
Well, that's Hispanic heritage.
Okay,
that's Hispanic heritage. Yeah,
That's
you'll
Hispanic.
be busy. Yeah, but the 15th. You'll be busy. Yeah.
You look at him already claiming me. He's like,
We're here.
He's like, you're here.
We're here.
But in September, because there's such a big community out there, so I've been wanting to go, and actually I'm going to put it out there. So when the guys at Chicano magazine hit me up, I'm like, yeah, dude, let's go, let's do it. So I don't know.
I want to go. Okay, cool. Let's go.
Well, we're part of Chicano Hollywood. Yeah, we better go.
You can't go. You have to work.
You're not allowed to go.
I'll go that one day.
But you can have your show back. Here you go.
We'll send you clips.
We'll send you
I'm
clips.
sorry. You just know how much I love you guys. And then the
I'll
whole
be like this.
Chicano
Hey
Hollywood
guys,
thing.
check this out. While Johnny's in Japan, I'm here. Check out the other episode of Chicano Hollywood. I'm here.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Did you guys like
Khoolaid
it?
over there?
Khoolaid.
Yeah, throwing up the West Side.
Oh,
Hey, JR Jr., whatever you want to
Wish
be
you were
called. Big
here.
dog. This is for you, doggy.
Plaza day.
Completely.
How did I get two people to come against me? Like, what the heck was going on
I
here?
told you I had his back.
Oh
Don't be
my
mean.
God.
Don't be mean to Johnny Boy.
But going back to the Chicano culture, I don't know how to reiterate over and over. This is our time. This is our time.
Yes.
This is our time for
so
sure.
go hard. Be authentic. Go hard because the general audience wants us. And that hasn't happened ever, but it wants us. And it's realizing that we're not all Latinos are in the bucket. There's 62 million Latinos in the U.S. 40 to 50 million of those connect with the Chicano voice. That's not just Mexican American. That's Guatemalan, Salvadorian, Colombian, all that. That's who a lot of our community are. So the general audience wants to see more of us. And
So on
gotta go hard.
on that note, they want more of us, and then you're in the music industry. I did watch on Netflix Metallica story, where they were in the underground scene because most Chicano rap's in the underground scene. So share with me because we were talking about developing how.
Okay.
So Metallica, it's on Netflix, and they showed that they were a hardcore metal band, but as they began to grow and get more known, they had to begin to develop themselves to get more radio play. So they had to change certain things in order to get up there. But then the community that they were from called them sellouts because they were now reaching. So their dressing had to change a little bit because now they weren't marketable and certain. So as they began to get bigger, they got a manager. Things began to switch, but then they became Metallica is the first metal band to ever sell out stadiums and stuff to where all the other ones were kind of hating on them but loved them and loved how because they put instruments that weren't used in underground, so because the orchestra stuff and the things that they used to do. So with Chicano rap and stuff. I mean, when I know people want to be and say their voice and they want this is my music.
Okay. To answer your question.
You know where I'm going with that?
I know where you're going with that. But we're talking about a different time. Okay, finish it. So finish where you're going.
I am finishing it.
Because it's like
if you caught it, I was just
you
hoping
caught it, but he doesn't
but
know.
I'll catch up. I'll catch up. Go ahead, Paul.
So it was a different time. It was a time when we didn't have all the outlets. It was when Metallica didn't have so many outlets, and you had to conform to certain radio stations or certain places to fit into their bubble.
Right.
Now there's so many outlets to consume that we're not going to get as many eyeballs on our stuff, but the more authentic you are, the more true you are to what you do, to your core, I feel like the stronger you'll be and the more
I agree.
leverage you'll have. Don't try to be everything for everybody because it's impossible.
So what you're saying now that there's more platforms, are you in a place right now or getting to a place where you're going to start educating those people where they have Spotify? They have Spotify, they have Apple, they have all these other platforms, right? Is that what you're
I'm trying to educate
now?
you. Well, yeah. But I'm trying to educate myself on the different platforms too and how they work. Like I'm lucky I got my 16 boys and my Ocho who they're sitting there, 16 letter boys and Ocho, where it's like they'll take my phone and I don't understand TikTok at all. I just can't get passionate about TikTok. I can't get passionate about TikTok.
I don't know.
And they'll be like, cool, you're so viral on TikTok. Like this is all you need to do. And I really don't. I had like 500 people last week or a couple weeks ago when I started trying to get on TikTok. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this sucks and whatever. And then they're like, no, even with only your 500 followers, you don't understand. You're viral. And they'll take my phone and they'll take content from my phone and just put up the stupidest, like 25-second clip off of my videos. Yeah. And it's like 250,000 views, 300,000 views. Wow, I'm like, what the heck? I mean, TikTok is so different. They're all different from Instagram. And then learning how to monetize all these platforms, and especially for somebody older who had been out of the game, who's not tech savvy.
We're older. We got to learn.
I'm like, cool, I'm out here, but how do we get our bags? How do we feed our kids? I'm out here. So that's one thing I want to talk to about with you guys being Chicano Hollywood, being the fact that you, JR, I think, are pretty good at finding like the sponsorship. I know a lot of kids will ask me, a lot of people will ask me, like, how do you get the sponsorship? How do you do this? How do you do that? Like, I don't even know. And it's to the point where I feel like it's such the Wild West that lately I've been like thinking about certain concepts and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to produce this. And I'm going to go to this brand, have them be my brand sponsor. I'm going to give them X amount of reels every week or X amount of videos, whatever, every week. And they're going to be the producer of my project along with the brand sponsor, it just like, how do we get these brands on the forefront? How do we, because they're struggling too to get their products out there and have relevant spaces where they can be highlighted. So I've been completely like rethinking about the model that I want to approach my content creation with. So like now, like I've got like 4 or 5 really good ideas, and in my head, I've got the exact brands that I feel like they would benefit, that their market would benefit.
And what'd you do?
So it's a no lose with the impressions. So I feel versus chasing the streams, versus chasing the, person sending you the rose or the moon or whatever it is on TikTok. The blob, versus all of that.
Well, I the way I look at it with sponsorships, because I run into a lot of people and I've been doing a podcast since COVID and been sponsored since COVID from now.
Whatever, pop your collar, vato.
But it hasn't been easy. Yeah. But what you have to do is, as an artist, filmmaker, podcaster, it depends on the genre you're going into. If you're going into something and you're trying to get there's podcasts that are very vulgar. They might have more views than us because people sometimes want that vulgarness and just they like that. But brands don't sponsor that. They can't.
Brand
right.
That's not family friendly.
But there are brands that they're friendly to, and that's the thing.
And that's the problem.
That's their audience. Like that's who we're trying to get.
But people get disappointed because they're trying to go after, like let's say Coca-Cola to sponsor their vulgar. Like, don't get you're going to get the no.
No, go after the defense attorney for that one.
Exactly. Go after the people that your audience listens to. That's who your audience listens to. Because I tell people, because I hear people on the podcast, I do a podcast, I have a lot of numbers, but it's hard for us to get sponsors. I was going to chime in because I was watching them live and say, I'm doing just fine, because it's the market you want to hit.
Do you think it's maybe people are afraid to approach people?
That's a big thing. It's hard to. That's sales.
Well, let me talk about this.
Yeah, we do have the sales and the executive function aspect of getting your creative idea together to be able to sell.
You got to be able to work with these brands, and you got to work. Make sure they get the value. If they get the value, they're going to give you the money. But that takes an element of professionalism.
Big
you
time.
can't just be like, "Give me money, fool."
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens. I was going to go into that, and that happens a lot in the Hispanic community, Chicano community, because we do have somebody with what we do, Monica, myself, and
shouts out to the homegirl, Monica.
Monica. But we do have a bank. I'm not going to say the bank's name. We have a bank that educates people in the businesses, and they educate a lot of the Hispanic community, because she says the problem with Hispanic community is that they go to the bank and they just go like this, I need $1 million. And the bank's like, okay, well, for what? There's no preparation. There's no mission statement. There's nothing to support why. There's no ROI. They just come and say, I want $1 million.
What's an ROI for somebody tuning in that does not know?
Return on investment.
And can you explain a return on investment?
It would depend on what their
in a simple form. For somebody who doesn't know.
The person lending you the money wants their money back, and with interest on top of that.
But it doesn't always have to be money. If it's a used car salesman, of course they want to sell cars, so it has to be marketing like that. Or if it's a bank, they want because banks run at higher numbers and They just want to know that X amount of views got, they participate in big events like that. That is enough for them, So it just depends on who the actual merchant is to get. So you have to gauge that, do they need
I just
clicks?
wanted people. I wanted people to
loans.
understand what
Banks are loans.
return on investment is. It's not necessarily like you said, money. It can
Well, a bank,
also
yes,
be
money, but if you're getting
Right.
like a sponsorship of
Right. It can also
tit for
be an
tat type
eyes,
thing. Yeah, it could be something like that, yeah.
marketing value.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's about coming prepared.
It's coming prepared. One time, I'll share with everybody. I was getting a sponsorship for JR and the Crew. Sat in front of an Asian man who makes like $10 to $15 million a year. I took out my laptop. I went to go to the PowerPoint presentation. He sat next to me. He shut it and goes, "You got your money." And I went, "I didn't even show you my presentation." He goes, "You're the first person who's come to me prepared." He goes, "The people go, hey, I'm doing a music video. I need $500 for the Ritz."
What?
And like, well, for
Who's this
Ritz,
Asian man,
what's
bro?
and all this stuff. And then he was like, "So I'm not going to give him the money." He goes, "You came prepared. I don't even look at it. Don't worry, it's yours because you're prepared." And that's what people don't understand. You got to be prepared.
Yeah.
And yes, you could dress, who you are because they're going to see who you are regardless. So, but you got to be prepared. Put a pitch deck together. Show them what it's about. Like,
What about for an artist or somebody who's more of a creative and more all over the place? And, this is even speaking for myself that doesn't necessarily have, I know I'm a little different because I can go out and I can source people. But what about the newer upcoming artists that doesn't have the people around them? How would you suggest they get organized if they have issues maybe with their English or with their writing or with...
Surround yourself around the right people.
Yeah, they got to get a team. If they're weak in areas, they got to get a team that's going to help them out. So they have to, on the creative side, putting a deck together is so important. They got to learn how to do it. And YouTube, you don't have to go to school anymore. Just go on YouTube, Google. You can Google in Spanish or whatever it might be. How do you put a pitch deck together? It's all there. You can go to Canva. My wife and daughter right now are at the Canva conference over at SoFi, and they're just learning more ways to do it. And I'm telling them, master two things. Learn the new tools and then get me some sponsors. Go to all the sponsors and get some business cards. So they just have to do that. They have to network. You have to go to.
How important is networking?
Oh my God,
very important. But put yourself in positions where people. Okay, I love going to places where you guys where we're all equal. But you got to put yourself in places where there is people above you in a way that you're trying. Because equal, yeah, you guys are just going to continue to help each other, but you're all struggling. But you got to get yourself in those areas where the people that have money. And tone in your ask. I had a problem where my ask was I talked too much. I had to just say what my ask is and let them digest it and give you my answer. Because I would throw up on them to try to convince them to sponsor me. And I was actually hurting myself more than I was convincing them. Where you have to tone in on your ask. This is what I need. This is what it's for. Could you do this for me? That's it.
And it's relationships, especially, I know people with wealth, they want to do something that's going to help people. So they're looking for opportunities. But if you come unprepared and if you come with a cold call, that might get something. But for the most part, warm up every relationship.
Yes.
Go to where they're going to be at. Go to a business mixer. Go to something like that. Say hi. Don't put it out right there.
Yes, exactly.
Say hi. Get to know them. Walk away. Do it to the other one. It takes like at least a year or more to cultivate a really good sponsor. Once you get to that point, then they're coming to you. Hey, what do you got going on? You know, a company I know that we're partnered with, they work with all the big brands that are out there, all your major brands. And these major brands, because of their reputation, their relationships, they're emailing them saying, hey, what do you got going on? We got money. Tell us. But that takes years. But
build relationships.
Yeah, build relationships.
It's all about community.
And at this level, beginning level, start with the mom and pop shop next door. Ask them for $50. That's it. Give them value back. And then eventually, once you learn how to work with a sponsor or a brand or something like that, then you start to elevate yourself. Then you start to get to that level where, like, okay, now I'm going to deal with some RFPs, requests for proposals. Then you're dealing with all this other level stuff. Then you got agencies coming in working with you. That's a pain in the butt. But you got agencies, you have the client, you have other people involved, and you and your team. Then you got to hammer out everything you're going to do for them. But at the end of the day, it's a big fat check. So
it's true.
It's
you got to basically ask the sponsor, what are you looking for? And then you go and you create the pitch deck. And I've done that plenty of times. We just met with Monica and myself, a bank, and we asked, what do we need?
Hey, the homie got a lot of banks.
Yes, banks and lawyers.
What do we need to do to get the money? And she told us, because we don't want to go, because sometimes, like Eminem says, you only get one chance to not miss your chance to blow, because opportunity.
Rap it. Let me see.
Yeah, we want to see you rap
Not
it.
miss your chance to blow, because opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Woo! So, but it's true, because sometimes you only get that one time to pitch, because you mess it up. And when they go, hey, Khoolaid, so-and-so wants to talk to you again about that, you're going to be like, I already heard his pitch. I already heard it. I'm done.
Yeah,
And
I've heard that record before.
Yeah, and it's over. And you blew it.
Yeah.
So you got to be prepared to want to, because, I just have a lot of stories, but one time I was with a gentleman, very powerful guy, and he helped rehabilitate Robert Downey Jr. And Robert Downey Jr. is my favorite actor. He's my guy I always want to meet. And I wanted to talk to him and kind of pitch him something, and he goes, "You only get one chance though, because he will never want to be with you again. So you ready?" And I said, "No, I'm not ready," because when he said to me, I didn't, because I'm not ready.
So we haven't done it yet. We're going to do it one day.
And we still can, and he still is good friends with
I'll
him
go.
because he's my favorite actor, So, but there's just things that I've learned through that, and surrounding myself around the right people, getting yourself around the right people, right energy.
Just
and
bring
stuff.
up Teen Challenge when you meet him, bro. We went to Teen Challenge. You know Teen Challenge. Teen Challenge was a part of the denomination.
Yeah.
That's where we got rehab. So shoot, I'll bring up Teen Challenge.
I'll bring up Teen Challenge. What's up? Let's go.
I preached in all those Teen Challenges. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm ready, bro. Let's do it.
That's it.
Robert Downey, Iron Man. Let's go.
No, he's Robert Downey Jr. and Johnny Depp are my favorite actors.
Do you know who mine is?
Who?
Adam Sandler.
Oh, dude, yeah, I love
By
him.
far. He's my
He's
favorite
amazing.
creator
He's
by
amazing.
far.
And he's done good. He's done okay being serious parts.
Yeah.
He's
no,
okay.
he's done good. Don't be saying okay. He's done good. He's serious.
He's a
Adam
good actor.
Sandler.
He's a good
No, he's a
actor.
great.
No, hey, we're gonna
love
fight.
it.
I'm gonna call in the homies. You talk about Adam Sandler.
Oh, whoa.
I love him.
Okay, bring him. I want to meet him. I want to meet him.
Yeah.
No.
Shoot, Adam Sandler.
Okay,
dang.
you can have your show back.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Again.
But no, I think it's good to, especially for new artists, whether filmmakers or music, you get in that game of sponsorship. Now you, because of your virality and all that, those numbers, you can nail it. You gotta get that one person though to help advocate for you to get sponsorship. Because if you're getting those kind of numbers
I want to
already,
create more. Like I want to be able to create more, but keeping up with the people don't know what's involved in me creating the stuff I create. It's awesome that I see Conejo and I see Tommy Guns and I see Demon and I'm like, oh, Tommy Guns wants to do a collab with Conejo. That's really dope. Let's make it happen. Well, somebody's paying for that. And constantly when there's a creative that's like, let's make it happen, we don't have the patience. And that's where I catch myself, is my lack of patience and wanting to create something when I think of an idea. And then it's like, if I got to figure out how to go get the money to produce this or to do this, it's just like, hey, JT, Echo, no, here, let's go. Who do we have to hire? Let me just get this done, because I know this is special. It's important to me.
Right.
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 And then you're constantly, as a creative, putting it out, maybe not necessarily with the proper plan to remonetize it. And it's like, you can do that for so long and so much. But again, like you said, sometimes the return is not financial. The return in my numbers is definitely
great,
showing and growing and from it,
No, but
I don't have the answers.
I love it. There's a lot of opportunity for you, though. There's a lot of opportunity for you. You're a lot of now that I'm in a business where I help businesses, and you are considered a business. Just hearing you and stuff. There's a lot of opportunity.
I'm all about my business, dude.
I'm my business. I want to get in that Kool-Aid. Getting some. No, but that's what it's about. So if you need help, I'd love to sit down with you. I know Monica would love to sit down with you too and help. That's what we do. We help businesses and
small businesses.
Small businesses. Because what artists need to understand is whether they're a director, film, it doesn't matter. You're in the entertainment industry and you're a director, an artist, rapper, singer. You're the product. So you most of the time you gotta get yourself as a DBA. Doing business as. Start getting paid through there, getting tax write-offs, and so on, and then start learning all that
and that's
stuff.
the other thing, the organization of even the write-offs, like all that stuff,
People
and
don't
how
understand all
important
that,
the
yes.
small business aspect and having
We
the
could have
right
a training
team
on
is.
this stuff, huh?
No, we totally do, because what I was going to say
Now
is
that I'm
like
thinking about
we could do a whole campaign of you guys supporting small businesses with big personalities.
Ooh, I like that.
And that's something brands will get behind.
Yes, they will. Brands will get behind that to teach.
I I got ADHD ideas for days. Somebody with the bank come in and help us execute all these and roll out the carpet.
No, but really, that kind of stuff, and that's honestly, it's an element our raza is missing. There has been some that have been able to go up there and do that because they figured it out. Self-starters, but other people kind of need that little push. So having something like that, yes, perfect.
Well, and the organization, the executive function, you know, the we all learn, we all process differently, and something I always dealt with within my own struggles is the ADHD. I mean, it's like it is so much better now that I can go on and I can tell, like, yo, say this, that, and this. But I used to worry about my grammar and my sending anything out or a pitch because I struggled with the dyslexia and the ADHD. And now we have so many resources at our fingertips that it's like, it's insane. And
well, preparation brings success. So I'm a true believer when it comes, because with my faith in God, people always say, you know, I'm just waiting for God to bless me. And to me, that's a false statement. God's waiting for you to be ready. You know, God's always ready to bless you. It's just that you're not ready. That's why you're not being blessed. But people always say, oh, I'm just waiting for God to bless me.
Okay, so how much then, and this is a good conversation too, especially you guys being faith-based, you know, you'll hear, it's like, you'll battle. We'll all internally battle with okay, we need to be organized. We need to do this. We need to do that in order to do this. But then there's also that element of sometimes we have to let the universe do its thing and not force it. How much of it is that, and how much of it is that?
Oh, it's 50-50. You can't sit on the couch and say, oh, God's going to bring me a job and make me successful, and you're sitting on the couch.
That doesn't work,
Action without faith is dead.
Yeah, faith without works.
Oh, faith without works is dead. That's right. Faith without works is dead. You got to have faith. You got to have faith, and you got to put in the work.
Yeah, you got to put the work in.
Faith without works
is dead.
And we're, you know, you do your part, we do our part.
I love that.
There's a part where we just can't do it.
Do you remember what that's from? The faith without work is dead.
Timothy.
I don't remember.
See, you just caught us off guard. Right
See,
now.
Look at me.
Somebody Google that.
Yeah.
Faith without works is dead.
Yeah, but it is faith without works is dead.
Cut that out.
And there's a part where we just can't do it anymore. So God says, okay, now
He gives you the strength. Yeah.
And the way that works is that when He is nudging people when you're not there, there's executive meetings going on and your name comes up. That's all God.
That's right. That's right.
Decisions being made. You're not there, but your pitch deck is there. God nudges there. That's when God comes in, because you're not invited to that meeting. They're going to talk about you at that meeting, but God says, "Yeah, that's my girl, though." Boom.
That's right.
That's where God comes in.
And you have faith, but
I love that.
You got to have the faith, but you got to put in the work. So faith without works is dead. You won't get it.
Okay.
But all right. Well, that was a good episode.
That was a dope episode.
I love this episode.
Yeah.
Any last words?
No, you're cutting us off. You're making us
have
leave.
to.
You know, you're making us look at the clock run. No, I mean, I'm super excited for everybody right now, and just what I've learned since the last, I don't know if you've seen the growth since the last time I sat with you and Monica.
James 2:26, faith without works is dead.
There we go. James 2:26.
I had to find it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I've seen the growth in everything you're doing.
And all of that is based on me believing in other people now, and me putting into other people that I believe in. So it really is about give to those around you, and they're going to give to you. Real simple.
I love it.
That's how it works. You know,
that's how it works.
That's the success of Chicano Hollywood. Isn't because we wanted to start a brand or nothing like that. It's because it launched because we just wanted to give value. And when we started social media and all that, all I wanted to do is put a spotlight on us. And once I started doing that, people recognize, okay, there's no agenda. This guy's not trying to get us for money. Everything I do is always for free. If I charge, it's because I got to pay a bill, right? Then I end up.
And I'm a true testimony of that.
I always taking the shorts of all this stuff, but I'm doing it because I know it's our time. So when you give value like that, people say, okay, authenticity. Same with you. You're already doing it. You're there already. So the Khoolaid movement is just the beginning. It's
Woo! Can't wait to see what's going to happen.
Oh, thank you.
You're right there, and now we're going to help you more.
Yeah.
We're going to push more. We're going to partner up more.
And
do
I'm
what
seeing
we're
the
do.
vision clear. Like, I know what I want now. Remember before it was like, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Now I know what I want to be when I grow up. I just got to figure out how to execute it.
Zone in. It's time to zone in.
It's work.
Yeah.
And you got the merch, the perfect look for merch. So get the t-shirt going.
I would wear her face on a shirt.
No, you would.
Yes, I would. If you
really?
made it for me, I guarantee
I'm
you,
gonna
with
make
your
you
face
one.
and put Khoolaid, I would wear it on an episode.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's a thing to do, and I think your brand, you as a brand, you're very, very marketable. So everything is there already. You just
personality,
stop
looks,
it
everything.
Some more. It's Chicano Hollywood, big dog. You know how
That's
we
right.
get down. Your homegirl, Khoolaid.
The new host is Khoolaid.
Yeah.
She's taking over the show.
Yeah, thank
With
you guys.
my
All right,
boy.
We just got fired.
bye. Wow, thanks, Khoolaid.
No, you're staying.
No, yes. But thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate your time and everything, because I know you're a very busy woman. Johnny, any last words? We got to get going.
Yeah, no, we got a lot going on. I'm looking at that camera right there. Follow us. We have things happening. Elevate right now. We're planning for the fall, and we have some training in May. We're gonna do a training on how to shoot these verticals. Verticals are hitting all over Hollywood. I hate them, but if that's where the money is, we're gonna train us how to do it. I've already shot one. I'm gonna shoot another one this week. So by May, I won't be an expert, but I'll bring experts in. So that's coming up in May.
All right. See you guys next week, 7 a.m. Wednesday.